fantastic friends, I'm Mermaid Merlissa, and today we are looking at my MerMay challenge. Whew, I know it's like August when I'm recording this, and hopefully this video will go up while it's still the month of August, but that's still a long time to wait to be shown what I did for MerMay. Yeah, I really don't have any excuse other than like I've been super busy and trying to do 1,000 things at once. But you know, things happen, so we'll just do it now. So I did it inside of my Jane Davenport journal here, and I just noticed my charm came off, which is probably in my backpack, so I'm not too worried. But what I do is I actually use travelers notebooks in here, and I have different ones for different things. And leave a comment if you want to see other arts that I do, other arts that are featured in here. So I do have my urban sketching booklet. Here's some quick watercolors that I did, and I just kept them in here because I enjoyed having them. This was like painted on location, which wasn't great because I didn't have a lot of time, but got this like beautiful orca here and this like cute dolphin and stuff. Anyways, moving on. I have a booklet here of World of Warcraft artwork, and behind the MerMay one is an actual watercolor one that I really like this paper from, and I was painting rocks and stones like my ring here, which actually I should paint my ring in that one, but I haven't done that yet. So anyways, on to my MerMay one. So this here was done with the Jane Davenport prompts. So pages 1 to 31 are Jane Davenport. I was going to do additional ones of my own for the last few pages in here, but I never got to it, so they are just blank with the prompts on there. Maybe one day I'll go back and do them, just so that it's complete, but who knows when that'll be. So we'll just go through, and I will talk to you, tell you what the prompt was, and then my interpretation of it. So day 1 was You're My Cup of Sea, and this one I did featuring my friend Mermaid Raina of the Halifax Mermaids, and she's been very candid about how she has health issues like chronic pain, and so I kind of drew her in this cup of sea, relaxing. She, you know, still swims even though she's in pain, but like doing this like helps alleviate some of her pain, so I wanted it to be like this comforting image for her. And then I added her cat Pinky, who got a pink tail because of her name Pinky, who is deaf and actually enjoys sitting near Raina when she's in her bath. So I just thought that was really cute, and she actually saw this and she loved it so much. Here for day 2 we have Hello Sailor Mermaid tattoos. So I kind of reversed it, and I gave this mermaid a like pin-up sailor tattoo. And all of the mermaids you'll see in here, well, I will say about 90% of them are based on mermaids that I know through the internet or through the Mer Network mermaid community. So you may recognize some of them. But yes, I just loved this one's like makeup style and everything she does, and I thought she would be perfect for this sailor tattoo. Number 3 was Speckled and Freckled, and so I did this painting of Mermaid Ginger, who has some freckles, and swimming with a spotted dolphin, because that just seemed like the perfect partner for this. Make a Splash here has one of my mermaid friends with a killer whale, and she really likes killer whales, and so I figured that would be perfect for her. Cinco de Mermayo I did here, and I was a little apprehensive about doing this one. I know a lot of people painted this and had like Dia de los Muertos on it, which is a completely different holiday. But it's just Cinco de Mayo isn't as important in Mexican culture as it is in like United States culture and other countries. Kind of it's their excuse to eat tacos and drink tequila and be like, look, I'm being cultural. But I wanted to take that and turn it and use it to focus on a mermaid of Hispanic descent. And so I know this wonderful mermaid named Blanca, and she not only does mermaid stuff, she does body painting and all sorts of fantastic art, and I wanted to incorporate that in this with the saying todas las sirenas y tritones son increíbles, which is all mermaids and mermen are incredible. And she absolutely loved this picture. You have Stargazing Siren for day 6 and Treasure Chest here on day 7. This is another mermaid I know, and she's discovering that the best treasure of all is love. Kind of cheesy, but you know, it was something I needed in my life at that moment, specifically self-love. This one here, number 8, is called Landlocked, and so for my version of that, I used these the inspiration of those little glass hanging jars that people often put like succulents in, and acknowledged that trend with the succulent, plus I did space, and then actually myself, because you can recognize my Merbella tail in there and being landlocked and stuck in that place. Number 9 was Seahorses and Show Ponies. And so I did a painting of Mermaid Mimi, also from the Halifax Mermaids, and she is riding on a leafy sea dragon, which is my favorite type of seahorse, while kind of feeding, I guess, other little seahorses like they're little birds. I just thought the colors worked nice and it was pretty cute. Number 10 was Jellyfish Wish, and I took that to interpret that I wanted all of my friends who are of different like sexual orientations and gender identities and everything to feel safe and welcome and like they're supported. So I tried to make the different jellyfish different colors to symbolize different people. And I gave the mermaid a black and white striped tail, which symbolized a straight ally. So we have our mermaid, and she is wearing a locket of love for all these different types of jellyfish. 11 was Spectacles and Tentacles, and so I did a, oh gosh, I can never pronounce it properly, Cicalian, I believe is what it is. It's an octopus mermaid, so think Ursula from The Little Mermaid, but they actually do have a name and a history of their own too. So this one here is based on a mermaid or Cicalian that I know named Octara, and this was her with a whole bunch of books reading and using a little anglerfish as her light. So Octara actually saw this and adored it, and I am going to be making her a larger image of it and on commission. So I'm pretty excited about that. And just for fun, the books that I gave her to read, never titled that one because you wouldn't see it from that angle, but she has The Last Unicorn, which she told me is her favorite book, so that was kind of funny. It's my favorite book too. I have The Call of Cthulhu, because of the tentacles, it just made sense to me. And then Anne of Green Gables, because who doesn't love spunky little redheaded Anne? Number 12 here was called The Lurking Sea Monster. And I took this in a different route. Instead of doing this actual sea monster, I did drift nets, and because drift nets are lurking and they are a monster and they trap thousands of fish, sharks, whales, dolphins, and kill them. So it is just lurking and it's weighted down with these corpses, and so it was kind of a dark picture and everything. Number 13 was the Ice Queen of the North, so I did a portrait of Miss Eularia Watersong, who is the Arctic mermaid in my local mermaid community. It just fit and it was perfect, and she loves this picture. We have for day 14 Rock Pool Rockahula. Apparently Jane Davenport really loves Elvis and loves that movie. I'm not as big of an Elvis fan, but I did know a mermaid who lived out in Hawaii. So I painted her in here with a lei, and she gave one to her sea turtle friend. And she still has a couple, and she's looking for other sea creatures to give them to. And number 15 was girls and their pearls, and so I did a pose based on the Peter Pan mermaids. You can probably see it now that I mention it, and she's just sitting on a giant golden pearl with all these pearls wrapped around her, and she just looks completely happy, and that's how I feel when I'm around pearls. I love pearls. So 17 was a glitzy makeover. And so I did a portrait of myself here, because anytime that I do volunteer work as a mermaid, it is kind of a glitzy makeover. I have to get on all of my shell attire, my necklaces, my abalone bra, earrings, everything, and I give myself a mermaid makeover every time. Number 16 was flowing tresses, and so I did kind of a contrasting picture here with this bright, beautiful orange hair with this blue. These are primarily from Jane Davenport's Brights palette. I guess I should also mention I used only Jane Davenport watercolors for this series because I wanted to kind of see what I could do with them and how they worked. Another self-portrait was Among the Kelp. And I did this because the bra I got from Merlissa is based on the bull kelp that is out here on our coast. And so I just want to do that, and I'm really happy with just how it turned out. I love the kelp and the negative paintings and all that in the back. Musical scales here I did. It's a mermaid playing a harp. I did see some really great interpretations of this where people took sheet music and cut them out into scales, and it was beautiful. But I was just trying to do just a watercolor thing, so I stuck with this one here. And since I play a harp, I figured it was the most appropriate. 20 here is In the Thrall of the Narwhal. So I just did this beautiful narwhal swimming with a mermaid here. 21 is Her Coral Crown. So Mermaid Raven, who owns Merlissa, will often make the most beautiful like headdresses and amazing things. And during this time she had made this crazy one with like these like gems and abalone and coral and just all this stuff, and she was making this like great face, like this like nah face in her Instagram photo, and so I used that as my inspiration for this. I just loved how playful she was in it while showing off this thing of beauty that she made. 22 here is Message in a Bottle, and it just depicts a mermaid kind of leaning over a glass bottle with a heart stuck inside, and you can see that the heart is missing from the center of her chest. I just did a lot of artwork that was also based on emotions and feelings and things I was going through at the time, so whatever inspiration came to me, whatever the muse whispered in my ear for that prompt, I did. 23 was Ocean Eyes, so I did a series of different eyes from the ocean world. I got a blue whale in the back, a killer whale, a common dolphin, our mermaid friend, and then the seahorse. This one makes me laugh just because of the story behind it. So it was day 24 and it was supposed to be in the fish discotheque. And so what I and a lot of people so I don't feel as bad, didn't quite understand was that it was meant to be a pun on discotheque. So you're supposed to do kind of this like, you know, disco ball or like bright colors and dancing and people having fun. But I didn't know what she meant when she wrote fishcotheque. So I Googled it and I actually found out there's a restaurant that is a English fish and chips chain, and it's called Fishcotheque. And so I was like, okay, I'll do that. So I did this mermaid laying in a box with giant french fries or chips, and she's like reaching out to this giant vat of ketchup with her normal sized fry, trying to dip it in and just like licking her lips waiting for that french fry. So like it was only after I finished this that I realized, oh, she meant like discotheque. Well, oh well, I'm cool with it. I still like it. Day 25 was monochromatic mermaid, and so here's this picture I did. I picked blue because blue is my favorite color. 26 was squid ink drink. So I have this fantastic mermaid here, lounging on an inflatable donut, reading Shipwreck Weekly, with a special article on how to snag a prince. And she's enjoying her fruity tropical drink with all these squid hanging out with her. Number 27, I really wasn't sure what to do. It's called She Sells Sea Spells. So I had misread it and I thought it was just She Sells Seashells. And I had done this beautiful nautilus, and then I realized, oh, it was about spells. So I gave her that like classic Disney Ariel coloring and tried to make it look more like she was exchanging her voice for legs there. I mean, it's not my favorite. It's not, you know, terrible, but I just wish I had paid more attention and planned it out better. This one, on the other hand, I adore. 28 is You're a Starfish, and I didn't really want to do a starfish, so I did a Starbucks fish. So I called this one You're a Starbucks Fish. And so it has our twin-tailed mermaid in kind of a chibi anime style, sitting on a cup of coffee, giving us a peace sign and a wink. And her adorable like twin tails are like crossed like legs. Like she is just like super cute, and I love her design so much. Number 29 is Having a Whale of a Time. This one here, it's another portrait of myself. And I based it on a photograph that I always take when I am at the Monterey Bay Aquarium. They have a hanging like fiberglass killer whale, and she has her mouth open like that, and you can see her tongue, and I always take a picture of me mocking the same like face, and so I decided to turn that into my mermaid picture here. Day 30 was Mermaid in My Fish Tank. And so I tried to play on the words, and I drew this beautiful eel mermaid. And if you notice, she's wearing a tank top that says Just Keep Swimming, and it has Dory on it. So it is a mermaid in my fish tank. She has kind of this mischievous smile. You can see that she appears to have stolen the tank top and put it on and is swimming away with her new prize. So that is the mermaid in my stolen fish tank. And then the last day here was the wave goodbye. And so I decided to do a Japanese kind of themed mermaid. And I gave her an old-fashioned Japanese princess haircut, or hime, is how you would say it in Japan. I gave her a kimono that had a lot of little goldfish on it and focused on like similar colors for the underparts of it, along with the print of the great wave on the side here. She's wearing a flower pearl hairpin from my favorite old Japanese movie, The Little Mermaid, done in like 1975. And then there is a big oarfish in the back here, which are common in Japanese waters, that I thought would just be a beautiful rendition or addition to the picture. and he's holding up a sign that says sayonara in his mouth, and that means goodbye. So this was like the final drawing for the series there. And I tried to give her kind of a koi fish colored tail. I have seen a lot more like Japanese mermaids that are done with like red tails, and I believe that in part is because of a fish called a red sea bream, which is like really prized and valuable in Japanese culture. And if you've seen those little Japanese snacks, the taiyaki, which are the fish little cakes that have red bean paste in them, those fish are supposed to be red sea breams. But I wanted to give her kind of that like koi fish looking tail. I wanted to mix colors and see how well they turned out, and I wanted to try and like blend these colors and like, you know, mimic what was already going on. So those were my Jane Davenport pictures that I did for MerMay, and I'm just so happy with them all. Some more than others, but you know, I enjoyed doing it. I enjoyed the challenge. I enjoyed trying to think of a new prompt every day, and to find the time to watercolor it. And you know, some of them aren't up to my personal standards of my ability to watercolor. Others are, you know, good for like quick sketches and just fun things. But overall, I really enjoyed doing this, and I am looking forward to maybe doing like an Inktober for October and other art challenges as they come up. So yeah, I had a lot of fun, and I'm really glad I did it. And if you have never done an art challenge like that, you know, I recommend you try it. Even if you don't complete it, or you know, it takes you longer, or you fall behind a couple of days, who cares? Just do it. It's fun. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Go ahead and give it a like if you did. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you'll know when other videos I do get posted. And I hope to see you in my next video. Thanks for watching.